And a very good day. Welcome to the trade this Monday morning. I'm Paul Gordon coming to you live from Hong Kong. Today's talk of the trade. Spotlight on the yuan as talks between the US and China start in Beijing, a day after Hillary Clinton pushed for more openness over trade as she visited Shanghai. Mining groups in Australia say the government isn't backing down in negotiations over a mega tax on profits. And Thailand gets back to business. The stock market reopens today as the capital cleans up after last week's riots. We'll head to Bangkok for live reports all morning. Now, it could be a big week for US-China relations. Talks start today in Beijing. Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and Vice Premier Wang Qishan, other officials joining the discussions. The aim, from the US point of view, to push China on issues regarding the currency, trade and North Korea. Hillary Clinton had an early start where she urged China to allow US companies fair access to the nation.
For trade to work in any economy and for it to produce the benefits we know that it can, there must be a level playing field where domestic and international companies can compete freely and openly.
The US is expected to put further pressure on China to strengthen the yuan. The currency has been pegged to the dollar for almost 2 years. Another focus, though, will be the South Korean warship, which was sunk with the loss of 46 lives. The US likely to push China to support punishment for North Korea, which a multinational panel blamed for the attack. Now, let's take a look at markets today. We were hoping for a rebound for stocks, but we're not getting anything like that. Take a look at the Nikkei 225, down 0.6%. South Korean stocks are also declining today. They're down 0.5%. They were closed on Friday, of course, during the sell-off across Asia. And there's Sydney, one of the only major markets, in fact, the only major market, edging higher, up about 0.25%. This is the 7th straight day now for declines in Asia-Pacific stocks across the region. Several markets just getting underway. They include Taiwan, Singapore and Malaysia. Let's see if we've got any numbers for those so far early in trading. Taiwan is actually higher, 0.8%. Singapore, that may be yesterday, maybe Friday's number, down 2%. Malaysia, the KLCI, is dropping 0.25%. We're going to double check that Singapore number for you. Here's a reminder of last week's tumble when the MSCI Asia Pacific Index plunged more than 6.5%, the steepest drop since February of 2009. And the market remains nervous as measured by interbank lending. Banks not that keen on lending to each other. 3-month LIBOR is just shy of 0.5%. It has doubled in the last 2 to 3 months, doubled since March, in fact. Now, the euro is falling again on Europe's debt worries. It's now down nearly 0.5%. Now 125 bang on, in fact, crossing below 125. Those concerns also weighing on the Australian and New Zealand dollars, seen as risk assets. They're both down more than 1% against the US dollar, and the declines are accelerating, if anything. Commodity markets, crude has now dropped below $70 a barrel, 69.75, down 1/3%. Gold futures, they are higher, up 0.5% at 11.82. Well, let's turn to our reporters around the region. Mike Fern is in Tokyo with the latest on the markets. We have Haslinda in Singapore with the latest on Singapore Air's surprise jump in profits as well. Let's start with Mike first of all. And Mike, anybody who's long and was hoping for a bounce, well, they've been disappointed.